Motivation feels powerful. It makes you feel unstoppable, at least in the beginning. But here's the uncomfortable truth, the part nobody likes to admit. Motivation is unreliable, and most people quietly fail, not because they lack ability, but because they trust it too much. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they wait to feel ready. They wait to feel motivated, inspired, confident. Some days that feeling shows up. Most days it doesn't. So progress becomes emotional. On good days, you work. On bad days, you stop. Over time, inconsistency starts to feel personal, like something is wrong with you. You start questioning your discipline, your focus, your ability, but the problem was never you. The problem was the system you were relying on. Motivation is reactive. It depends on sleep, on stress, on mood, on environment, and on results. That's why it fades so quickly. You start strong, you feel focused, you feel clear. Then life interrupts, you miss a day, energy drops, your routine breaks, and suddenly the same task that felt easy now feels 10 times heavier. Motivation doesn't disappear because you're weak. It disappears because it was never designed to last. Motivation responds to outcomes. When results show up, motivation follows. But when results are slow, motivation leaves. Relying on motivation is like relying on the weather. Some days are clear, some days are heavy, most days are unpredictable, and consistency cannot survive on mood alone. The people who make progress long term don't feel more motivated. In fact, they usually feel less. They stop asking themselves whether they feel like doing the work today. They stop waiting for the right mood, the right energy, the right moment, because they understand something most people miss. Feelings are unstable, they change constantly, they react to stress, sleep, pressure, and results. So instead of building their life around emotion, they build around time. They ask a different question: what happens automatically when this time arrives every day? That question changes everything. When behavior is attached to time, it no longer depends on motivation. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter how productive the day was. It doesn't matter how inspired you are. The action happens because the structure exists. This is the shift most people never make. They try to increase willpower instead of reducing friction. They try to feel inspired instead of designing consistency. They rely on emotion to push them forward. But emotion is unpredictable. Structure is quiet. It's repetitive. It doesn't feel exciting. And that's exactly why it works. A system doesn't care if you're tired. A system doesn't care if you're distracted. A system doesn't care if you're unmotivated. It runs anyway. Progress stops being emotional, it becomes mechanical, and that's when it lasts. This is why systems feel boring to most people. They don't give you an emotional reward, they don't make you feel powerful, they don't give instant feedback, but they remove decision making. You don't wake up asking if today is the day you show up. The decision was already made. You simply follow the structure. The same time, the same place, the same starting action. Not because you feel disciplined, but because the environment makes it easy. This is how consistency actually forms. Not through intensity, not through motivation, but through repetition. Small actions done at the same time, in the same way, over a long period of time. That repetition builds identity. You stop trying to be consistent, you start becoming consistent, and once identity shifts, effort drops, you no longer negotiate with yourself, you no longer argue with your mood. The system carries you forward, Even on days when your energy is low, even on days when your focus is scattered, even on days when progress feels invisible. This is why people who rely on systems don't look motivated. They look calm, they look steady, they look patient because they're no longer chasing progress. They're letting it compound. Motivation feels exciting. It gives you a rush. It makes starting feel easy, almost effortless. In the beginning, motivation feels like momentum, but it never stays for long. It fades when life gets busy. It fades when progress feels slow. It fades when results don't show up quickly. Systems feel very different. They feel boring, quiet, almost invisible. There is no rush, no emotional high, no excitement, but systems keep working after motivation disappears. If you've been stuck for a long time, it's not because you lack discipline, it's not because you lack focus or talent or potential. It's because you've been trusting a feeling that was never meant to lead you forward. Build something that works even on your worst days, even when you don't feel ready, even when you don't feel motivated. That's how progress actually lasts.